with each of you. So if you see that some of your girls are not on, make sure to shoot them a reminder text because they are not going to want to miss this training. So we have been really just preparing all day because we just did our leader Zoom before this. You want to make sure that you're becoming a leader and growing into your leadership position and being on those Zooms because they're so incredible. But also we've been preparing this Zoom all day of just all the things basically compiled when we asked ourselves, what do we feel like our teams need to hear right now? And this is just a bunch of things that we think that you need to hear. And so if y'all hear something that speaks to you, please say it in the chat, say amen, just because we love words of affirmation and knowing that what we're saying is actually resonating with each of you. But we've got lots of things, so we're going to go ahead and kick into this. We're going to make sure that we're hopping off of each other and just sharing things, but make sure that number one, you'll always post this on your story, create FOMO, create excitement through this, and just knowing that people can, get value from trainings and knowing that they're not going to jump into this business and not have a single thing, not a single clue about what they're supposed to be doing. But make sure you also have something to take notes with because we're going to be giving you all lots of good tips and tricks and information that you'll want to make sure that if it doesn't resonate with you, somebody on your team is going to ask you this as well. So make sure you are not on your phone. You've got your camera on. You're taking the next hour to get filled up by this Zoom. And so we're super excited. So we're going to jump on in. So the first thing that we're going to talk about, I think you wanted to take this one and I was going to take number 2. Does that sound good? No, me? Okay. So the first thing, I texted a lot of my girls this morning and I was like, especially my newbies, and I went through and texted all of them and I was like, hey, I'm so excited for you. This is the training we have tonight, but is there anything that I can help you with? Is there any way that I can serve you? What specifically are you struggling with so that I can teach you and kind of give you some tips and tricks? Okay. So all of these things just kept coming in. I kept getting text message after text message of the same thing over and over and over. And so what I hope that you feel by the end of this is that anything you're specifically struggling with right now, a lot of other people are struggling with too. You're never alone in the things that you feel and in the feelings that you have because, guys, I want you to understand we're all working the same business. We all may have different goals, but we're all climbing and doing the same exact things. And so the things that you have gone through are things that we have specifically gone through, right? So number one, write it down, is not expecting immediate results. And I know that all of you have heard this in your business, but I think a lot of times we hear it and forget to apply it because we're human, right? We want to win. We want to make money. We want to have bigger paychecks. We want to promote faster. Like it's almost never good enough, right? You always want to be doing that next thing. And it's hard in a business where there's constantly stuff going on. There's always bonuses, always promotions. As soon as you join, you've got a shopping spree to earn, then you got a ruby bonus, then you got an emerald bonus, right? There's always something to be accomplishing. And so we can get very caught up in the fact that it's not happening fast enough. How many of you have ever done that? Drop a 1. You're like, this isn't happening the way that I wanted to. Especially as a newbie, you're not getting your customers as fast as you wanted to. Maybe you're posting and you're not getting enough comments as quickly as you thought you would. And so it's so important to understand and hear our hearts when we talk to you about this because it is a business, and in this business, you are running a marathon and not a sprint. And you're going to hear this a lot of times in your journey with It Works is it's not a marathon. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And, when I think about any business owner, I want you to think of a small business in your town that that you follow. They didn't open this business to immediately become rich. Okay, I think about boutiques every time, and if you're on my team, I give this analogy a lot because where I'm from, there's a ton of small businesses of clothing boutiques, and you also see them hopping up left and right on Instagram, especially with COVID, because people needed to start something in order to generate an income, right? So you've probably seen tons of small businesses, especially on TikTok and Reels, of people making arts and crafts and all that stuff, and I've seen a lot of them that started and quit immediately. I saw a lot of them that started selling this stuff and then posting these TikToks of where they're not getting any results and no one's buying from their business. And I'm like, sister, you've been open for 3 weeks, right? And we get in these headspaces that we have to have immediate results when you have to understand that nothing good comes easy and nothing good that is built fast lasts. And so you want to make sure that you're understanding the power of where do you want to be? And I always tell my team this, and you want to write this down too, is what are your past goals, your current goals, and your future goals for yourself, right? What are the things that you want to do now, soon, and later? Now, soon, and later. So what are the things you want to accomplish today? Is that getting 10 new conversations? Is that posting on your story? Is that checking in with your leaders? What are little things that you can accomplish right now, okay? Then what are your soon goals? Your soon goals are your shopping spree, going Ruby, getting 3 distributors, earning 4 fast starts that you've got, right? Those are soon goals that may not happen overnight or on your timing, but they're going to happen. And what are your later goals? Do you want to go ambassador? Do you want to build a home? Do you want to buy a car? You have to have things that you can achieve because we're humans and we want to accomplish things and we want to check things off, especially if you're green or somebody that loves lists and tasks. That's great to have now, right? Yeah, we've got Morgan's planner here, and she's got, I'll show you the difference between mine and hers. Just kidding, I won't, because that's embarrassing. But we've got a whole list of things that she's highlighted, checked off. She's got all this stuff. This is her now things. This is what she's doing right now. This is what she's going to check off throughout the day. Like, she probably puts do laundry on here because she's got everything on here. So she checks that off and she feels accomplished right now. But what about her soon goals? What are the things she wants to do soon? She wants to go ambassador. That's her next promotion. So she's got her chart out. She's got all this stuff over here. Well, what's she want to do later? She has a lot of goals she wants to do later, but she's not expecting those later goals to happen right now. See what I did there? There are things that you're going to accomplish right away, and there are things that you will not. And you have to see, drop in the chat. This is always powerful when I do it. How long did you watch your upline before you clicked submit, before you got started? How long did you watch? 6 months, 2 days, 1 year, 4 months, couple days. Everybody look at the chat. Make sure you're looking. 1 week, 2 months, couple days, couple minutes. I signed up right away. Look at that as if it's a timeline of your business. Okay, so in 4 months, you're going to enroll Eden. In 1 year from now, you're going to enroll Alicia. Tomorrow, you're going to get Mercedes. Then you're going to get Crystal in a couple months, and Allison in a couple months. You see that, guys? And I hope that is as powerful as it is the first time I did that for me. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's so true. Because what if I would have given up a year into my business? I wouldn't have enrolled some of my most incredible leaders that are still with me today. What if I wouldn't have kept going to 4 years today? I wouldn't have got the 6 distributors I enrolled today. Okay, some of those people have maybe they've been watching me since I got started, and maybe some of them saw me yesterday. That's not up to me to find out. It's that I'm doing consistently what I know to do in order to get the results over time. Okay, so especially if you're a newbie on here, I know that when you get started, you're excited, right? You're so excited to get your shopping spree. You're so excited to figure out the way that this business works. But then almost immediately, I find that new distributors are like, wait, this actually like takes time to work, right? Because we're used to a society where you wake up, you're told what to do as soon as you get to work. You have to be at work at 8. You get there, they tell you what you're supposed to do while you're at work. They tell you when you can go to the bathroom. You go to school for 18 years of somebody telling you what to do, and then you join a business where it's all on you, right? And then you're like, oh crap, I have to get the shopping spree in 30 days. I'm supposed to get all these customers, and it doesn't happen when you want it to. And you piece out on your own business just because you didn't reach one goal. You got to learn to pivot and learn to change the timeline and not the goal, and figure out and understand that you're in a business. You're not in a 9-to-5 job. You're not going to school. You're not in something that's structured that's going to give you exactly what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to understand that this is something you're going to be working on over time. And I did not join this business to quit it. Quitting has never been an option. And so I've never sat there and said, oh, I didn't hit this at the time I'm supposed to, because everybody hits a business. Like, I think about our business. Like, our business is so different, but yet we're just as successful. Like, I went ambassador in 3 years, and I don't know how long, no,
it will have been 6.5 years.
6.5 years, and she's working on ambassador now, but yet she makes more money than I do, y'all. She's number 22 something, 22 income earner. I'm 32. Our businesses are nothing alike, but yet we've had such incredible journeys that look entirely different. And I don't ever expect my business to look like somebody else. So when you're thinking about immediate results, it's just not a thing. And you've got to let go of that and holding on to that. And I think that it's so powerful, and so many of us struggle with it. And I'm the same way. Like, I want it now because I've read and I'm hungry, but I have to understand that everything comes in God's timing too. And when I'm faithful and I put my hands to the work, the Lord is going to bless that abundantly in the things that I'm doing.
And one thing that I wanted to share kind of on that is, I know that it's hard for you to kind of understand where we are, not like just because that's not where you're at right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're more like, you're going for Ruby, you're going for Emerald, you're going for Diamond. So whenever Shay's over here talking about, I'm going for triple 2.0 on my second account after I went ambassador, you're like, huh? I don't know what that means. So it doesn't resonate with you. So I want to tell you about a time in my business when I was shooting for Diamond. Okay. So I was a Ruby, and it took me 4 months to go Ruby, and I was excited about that. Like, I was so pumped that it took me only 4 months to go Ruby, because, and it was funny because I actually had a girl on a Zoom in the last like 6 months, I mentioned, I was like, I went Ruby in 4 months. I was sharing my story. And at the end of the story, she was like, I have a question. Were you ever discouraged because it took you 4 months to get to Ruby? I was like, no one's ever asked me that. And I've never thought about that. But no, I was like, dude, I was so excited about promoting to Ruby. We have different ranks in the company, and Ruby is one of the first promotions. And so I promoted to Ruby in 4 months, and I thought I was hot stuff. I had no idea that people promoted sooner than that, you know, because I wasn't comparing. And I never set a timeline on Ruby needs to happen in 30 days because there's a bonus and I've got to do this. It was always just, I'm going to eventually make some extra money, and that's all I set out to do. And whether I was Ruby or not, I was actually making that money through sample cash, through fast starts. I was doing all those things before I even hit Ruby to make the money that I set out to make. And so it wasn't about the rank for me, but once I hit Ruby, I kind of caught the vision for this business. Any Rubies in here that are like, man, I like see what this business can do for me and I want more, right? That was me. Jamie's like, that's me right here. So I wanted more when I saw that I could make those paychecks, and I wanted to go diamond. And I actually ended up sitting at Ruby for an entire year. So I actually promoted to diamond 5 years ago, 2016. Somebody do the math for me. 5 years ago.
I joined in 2016, so 4 years.
It's 2021. So 5 years.
Math is hard. That's why I'm a rat girl.
Are we shocked? No or no? Okay.
4 to 5 years. Go.
I promoted to Ruby in February, and I promoted to Diamond the next February. Okay. So
oh yeah, my pink calculator.
2 plus 2. Literally. It's okay. So I promoted in a year, but I didn't know that it was going to take me a year, right? Like 3 months after I went Ruby, I didn't know, oh, I'm going to be going diamond in a year from now. Like that was there's no such thing. So whenever I was working, I was putting in the work. I was doing all the things. I actually got charted for diamond that summer. And I put on my stories. I went live, I did all those things, and I was talking about going diamond. And I even shared this in my chat, and I said, guys, what you don't understand is the fact that I said that I was going to go Ruby, and I didn't know, or I'm sorry, I said I was going diamond, and I didn't know I wasn't going to go diamond that month. I said that in August. I said that in September. I posted a video about me doing that. And I knew, now looking back at that video that I made on October 4th, I look back and I thought, I'm not going to hit it. Like, I'm saying that I am, but I know now looking back that I didn't hit it that month. But all I did was change the goal. All I did was change what I was doing and where, or the time, not the goal. So I said, I'm still going to go diamond, but now let's shoot for October. Mm-hmm. Or I missed it then. Okay, I'm going to do it in November. Okay, I'm going to do it in December. And it wasn't because I didn't feel discouraged at some points, but it's because I didn't let that discourage decide my decisions.
Drop a 2 if you ever promoted after the goal that you set. So you missed your goal and you promoted after. Drop a 2. All of you. Both of us, okay? You don't just say, oh, no, not going to do it. I suck at this business. I'm going to go ahead and peace out because I didn't make as much money as I was supposed to, or I didn't hit my shopping spree as quickly as I was supposed to. Half of you on here didn't even earn your shopping spree or didn't even have the option. I didn't have the option when I got started. It wasn't even there. And so don't get too caught up in having that instant gratification of promoting or hitting a goal. Just change the timeline, not the goal. And that's the biggest thing that I wanted to share as a number one thing.
Yeah. And so whenever I finally hit that goal, and the only thing else I want to say about that is it was 14 months into my business, or 16 months, whatever, that I actually hit diamond. And I know for some of you, you're like, I did that in 2 months. Or some of you are like, only that long, right? Because everybody's journey is different. So don't worry about how long it takes you. But what I want you to understand is that I hear so often, give this business a year. See where you're going to get in a year. What if I had just given it a year? And then 4 months later, my life changed forever. Because that day when I went diamond, I quit my jobs. And I did that because I wanted to, not because I had to. I was working 2 dead-end jobs, 65 hours a week. And from that time in 2016, I've been I haven't clocked into a job in 5 years, and I would never be here with what I have, with the people that I'm with, if it wasn't for this business. So whenever people tell you, just give it a year, just give it a year. Give it however long it takes, and stop putting a timeline of, well, if I don't hit this goal by this time, then this just isn't for me. That's not what God said. He didn't take you to this business to just leave you here after 4 months and say, oh, well, she didn't hit diamond, so now I'm calling you away from this. Like, that's not the God that I serve. He called you here for a purpose. You need to fulfill that purpose no matter how long it takes you. And it may be longer than you wanted to. And for me, my journey's taken a lot longer than I thought that it would, but I'm still here. And I can't control how long it takes to a certain extent, but I can control if I show up. And so even though I felt discouraged along those 14 months in my business before I went diamond, and even after I went diamond, it isn't fixed because of your rank, but in those 14 months when I was trying to promote to diamond, I didn't sit there and think, oh, well, I'm discouraged, so I'm going to quit. I thought, oh, I'm not getting where I want to go, so I'm going to try something new. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to surround myself with people who were excited and doing this business with me. Quitting was not an option for me either. I took quitting off the table. And I want all of you to put in the chat right now, say, I'm taking quitting off the table. Put it in the chat, and I don't care if you've been here for 18 years. Say, I'm taking quitting off the table, because here's the deal. If quitting's on the table for you, you're going to take it anytime things get hard. And some of you on here have taken that, have quit, and now you're back and you're not quitting it anymore because you're like, I know what it does. Like, there's nothing to go back to. Like, if you would not be excited about your life in a year from now, if it looked the exact same as it does today, what are you doing? Why are you going to quit? What would that do for you? It's not about getting to this rank or doing this thing by this certain time. You know, some of you on here don't even know what I'm talking about whenever I say Ruby. So you didn't join for Ruby. You didn't join for that. You joined for an extra income. So don't quit because you didn't hit Ruby in 6 months. That doesn't make any sense. You join for extra freedom, and you can do that no matter what your rank is. Okay, so the next thing, because y'all are not sick of hearing me talk yet, the next thing is, let's talk about some things that we hear from distributors a lot, and these are things that we have totally felt too, and they're things that we even struggle with right now, you know, but we want to talk about mindset. So how many of you have ever said, I just feel stuck? How many of you texted that to me today?
How many of you have said the word discouraged in the last 3 months? Or I'm in a funk.
I'm discouraged. I'm in a funk. I'm just stuck.
I don't think anyone's hand is down.
Yeah.
So take it away from us.
Okay. Here's the deal. Do you know that that's a decision and that's just a mindset? Do you know that there is someone experiencing the same things you are who's not stuck? Do you know that there's someone who's experiencing the no's and they're not discouraged? It's not your circumstances, it's your mindset. But do you know that there's somebody out there who had someone on their team quit and they're not in a funk? I want you to realize that the things that are going on in your business do not have to equal stuck, funk, discouraged, doing all these things, saying all these negative words over yourself, and then starting to manifest those things into your business at a greater rate. So you don't have to do those things. You don't have to say that. It's a choice. It's something that you're choosing to be stuck. Here's the deal. If I say something about myself, whatever it might be, like I'm really fit, I love working out, I'm really fit. What am I going to start to do? Things that make me fit. If I keep saying I'm a really fit person, doesn't matter where I am right now, if I keep saying I'm really fit, well, a fit person's going to start going to the gym, so I'm going to start doing those things. If I say I'm really fit, I love to do these things, I love to feel good about myself, I'm going to start working out, I'm going to start eating healthy, I'm going to start doing things that fit people do. So what happens when you keep saying I'm stuck? You keep doing the things that stuck people do. And that's why some of you are where you are, and it has nothing to do with your circumstances. Did you hear no today? I did.
A lot of times.
Did you have a distributor on your team quit today?
2.
I didn't have anyone quit today that I know of, but I had this last week while we were in Nashville, I had someone quit. Do you feel discouraged? Do you feel stuck? Okay, here's the thing, guys. What I'm trying to get you to understand is that we have those same things that happen too. You're not immune when you go ambassador, when you go presidential. You're not immune to, oh, well, whenever, okay, congratulations, you have been gifted with this thing where no one on your team's going to quit and everyone's going to say yes when you message them. Everyone will host a post for you and life is going to be fantastic, sunshine, rainbows, and butterflies. Congratulations, you are now presidential. No, with every level comes a new devil, and honestly, it gets more of that because your team is bigger. You're messaging more people, you're going to hear no more. But here's the thing. We don't talk about that. You know what we've talked about all day? I just got somebody that's signing up. I just got somebody that's interested in becoming a distributor. Oh, this TikTok, got a lot of views. Oh my gosh, I get so many people that are interested from this story. Oh, I had someone vote on my poll. You're not going to hear us ever talk about for a long time. Like, we'll mention it to each other because we're friends, but you're not going to hear us talk about, wah, 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 this person quit my team. Oh my gosh, everything sucks. I'm just in a funk. I feel stuck. Okay, you're not going to hear us going on and on and on about that, but sometimes when we have conversations, it's just, there's so much of those things. It's like, this is going wrong, this is going wrong, this is going wrong, this is going wrong. I'm struggling, huh?
We've talked for 2 hours.
I know. I've talked for 2 hours. I worked out today. I can't breathe. It's fine. I don't have the COVID.
Got off the last Zoom and her leg was asleep and she fell into the door.
No, I did. My leg was asleep and I said, pause. I said my leg was asleep and I was like, weird, my leg is asleep because I stood up and I was like, I couldn't feel my leg when I stood up. Then I moved my chair back and I was still standing just on my left leg. I took one step and I thought the door was going to fall over. I literally slammed into the door and fell completely on my back because I couldn't feel my leg.
We were also running because we had 11 minutes to eat dinner between this, and
we did it.
And we did it.
Anyways, so back to the story. If you start telling yourself these things, you're manifesting that stuff about yourself, right? So if I start speaking life, I'm going to start attracting that into my business. It's the law of manifestation. Whenever, even in the Bible, because I know that some people have a struggle with this because they're like, oh, that's not biblical. Yeah, it is. The Bible says that you have to watch the things that you say. It says that life and death are in the power of the tongue. That's in the Bible. Proverbs something.
Jesus' words.
Jesus dash Jesus. And so it says those things, like it talks about your speech. It says whatever you think whatever is true, lovely, commendable, whatever is praiseworthy. It says that verse, think about those things, but you're over here thinking about crap and you think that it's going to make your business better. The Lord even knows that that's not serving you. That's why he included in the Bible, do those things. Stop speaking death. The life and death are in the power of the tongue. And so for those of you speaking death, I want you to hear the other part of that verse is that life is in the power of the tongue. And we miss that because we use that verse to tell you to stop speaking crap, but you can also use it to start speaking life. And Jesus says, life is in the power of the tongue. Change your words, change your life. And here's what I want you to realize is that if you listen to the book, The Secret, or it's like, I mean, it's not a book, I don't think, but it's a video, it's on Netflix, it's on YouTube, The Secret. It's really, really good, but what it talks about in there is something that says, whenever you are running late to work and you start thinking, okay, I don't want to hit any red lights, I don't want to hit any red lights, I don't want to hit any red lights, I don't want to hit any red lights.
You hit everyone.
What is the subject or the object of your thought? Red lights. Your brain can't differentiate whether you're saying I do want this thing or I do not want this thing. It just knows, oh, red lights, got it. Red lights, red lights, red lights, red lights, red lights, red lights, red lights. But if you would change the way you speak to, I only want to hit green lights. I want to hit green lights because you're late for work. Green lights, green lights, green lights, green lights. What is the object of that thought? A green light. Are the two thoughts the same? No red lights and only green lights? It's the same thing. Mm-hmm. But the way you say them are different. And it's going to attract different things to your life. Here's the other thing that I want you to understand. So often I hear y'all try to speak life, and I want to help you a little bit. You saying, I got a bunch of no's, but that's okay, I'm still running. Boo-boo. You're still talking about the no's. Mm-hmm. It's great that you're still running, but you're over here counting the no's. Stop counting the no's, count the yeses. You will never hear me tell you how many people told me no today, because I don't even know. I don't think about those things. I don't care about that. Is that true? Is that admirable? Is that commendable? Is that lovely? Nope. I'm not going to think about those things. Philippians 4:8. I'm going to think about the yeses. I'm going to think about the things that are going to make me better, make me more excited, thoughts that serve me. And so many of you are enslaved to thoughts that don't serve you, and you think it has to be this way. You think that, oh, this is just how life is. Life just sucks. My finances just suck. My family just sucks. Nobody understands. Everybody thinks that this is a scam. Nobody's doing host-to-post for me. Stop doing that. The no's aren't saying no to you. They're saying no right now to the opportunity, and they'll always come back. But if you spend your whole entire day focused on the no's, do you think that that's going to make you want to continue to message? How many of you, raise your hand if you have your camera on, stopped messaging when you heard a bunch of no's because you're like, meh? And you just stopped because you were like 1 no, 2 no, 3 no's, 4 no's, 5 no's. But in those same amount of messages, there's a ton of yeses, but your focus is wrong. Change your perspective. Start focusing on the good. And it's not just in messaging and having conversations and all the yeses. It's with anything. It's with your promotion. Yeah, you're not at your promotion yet, but there's growth happening on your team. I look at my team, and my team knows this more than maybe Shay's team would know, but I don't feel stuck. I've been sitting at presidential for.
See that? She just spoke it out. She said, I've been sitting at ambassador.
That's the thing. I say ambassador so much, I forget I'm not a presidential, or that I am a presidential. I'm telling y'all, this manifestation stuff is real. But for real, like, I've been sitting at presidential since October 2018. And do you notice that I said sitting? I didn't say I've been stuck at presidential. Because here's the truth, is that a lot of growth has happened on my team, even though it doesn't show up in E-Suite. A lot of growth has happened in me as a human, even though my E-Suite still has the same highest paid rank presidential. But I have changed. My number in highest income earners has changed. My income has increased without the title. My leadership has gotten better without the title. I'm not saying don't go for the title. We are running for that title. Y'all hear me? We are going ambassador, okay? Don't get it twisted. But I'm saying that's not the object of my focus. When that's not happening, I say, well, what is going right? Okay, we have a diamond promoting. We have somebody going ruby. Oh, my DT just got their shopping spree. Literally, I got so excited. Someone interested today, or somebody, like one of my new DTs had something whatever. Just, oh my gosh, she was interested. She signed a customer. I looked at Shay. I was like, my new distributor's got a customer. Like, but I also got told no 5 times before that. And somebody said, no, I just don't think this is for me. In the middle of telling them about the business. Mm-hmm. I literally didn't even think about that. I just said, oh my gosh, this happened to my team. This is so exciting. People ask us all the time, Morgan, Shay, how do y'all stay so excited? Because we focus on the right things. It's not because we don't have the same things happening that you have happening to you. It's because we aren't focused on those. Mm-hmm. And it's something that you teach yourself. So I don't want you to be like, well, how do I go from this to that? It's a process. It's not something that happens in the drop of a hat. And it's not that we don't have those thoughts that come into our heads where I think, man, I should be ambassador right now. Man, like, why did everybody promote before me? Why did all of my friends in the Ambassador Babes chat that I was in promote except for me? I'm the only one who did it. And so I have those thoughts come in my head, but the only difference in me when I joined this business and me now is that the me now recognizes those thoughts and changes them and flips them. Mm-hmm. I don't try to stop thinking about the negative things, because some of you are like, I just need to stop thinking negatively. Because you're going to still think something, so you've got to replace it with positive. You can't just not think it at all. You have to switch what you're thinking about. And so what I did was I started to shift the things and start speaking what is true. And so I would say things like, oh, well, I'm just not a very good at distributor enroller. Nope. I am a mass distributor enroller. I'm enrolling people who are excited. I'm enrolling people who are self-sufficient, who are dedicated and determined, and they're leaders, and they're growing, and they want to be successful with this business, and they message me every day, and they ask me questions. Guess what I started to attract?
And on top of that, it wasn't just speaking it out. It's not ever, that's the first step, is the speaking and this is going to happen. And I'm so excited for this and I'm going to mass enroll, but then you can't just speak those things and not add the action. You can't just speak this step over your life and being a mass distributor enroller and going for the yeses without putting in the action. Y'all, so many of you are so focused on the no's and texting your upline. I'm so discouraged. I haven't enrolled anybody in the last week because I've just got all these no's, that you didn't even for once focus on how many conversations you were having and how many of those were yes. Because you're so busy trying to find the things not working because you're expecting yourself to fail. Mm-hmm. You joined this and you're like, I want this so bad. And then you're like, well, it's not happening. It goes back to number one. It's not happening at the time that I want it to. So I must be a failure. No, it's because you're not focusing on the right things. And we get so passionate about this because we hear this conversation over and over and over and over. Y'all hear it once, we hear it 150,000 times. And we just have to keep saying, like, look at what you're focusing on. I will never, ever, ever text her or my upline and say, oh my God, I'm just not enrolling. I would figure out what is working. I copy her TikToks. I copy more.
I copy hers.
Yeah. Like I copy what successful people are doing because I want to be successful. Does that not mean that I go through hard times? Yes. I literally just talked about it on our leader Zoom that I've been speaking that I only know how to enroll distributors because that's all I've been doing. And today I walked down the stairs and said, I'm going to get 4 customers. And I enrolled 2 customers in 30 minutes. I was having positive conversations. And that right there shook me because I was like, oh my gosh, I told my team to do this all the time. And I've been doing it for the last 3 months. I'm not perfect, but I can say that when something's not working, the last thing I think about is I'm going to text my upline and complain about it. And I'm not saying you do not text your upline when you're struggling with something. You go to your upline and say with a solution mind and say, how can I fix this? How can I enroll? How can I get more engagement on my post? My hosted posts are not working. How can I get 10 hosted posts? What are you doing? Ask different questions and word them in a positive way that's going to create a actual answer that I can give you. If you come to me and say, I'm discouraged. With what? How can I help that? That means that you're speaking death of your business, and no matter what I say, you're already closed down to it because you're discouraged and stuck, right? So we could talk all night on that, but we still have a couple more points. But I really hope that now you know we're not expecting immediate success here. We are business owners, and we are not speaking death over our business. And the word discouraged and stuck and funk should be removed from your vocabulary. You are not discouraged. You are not in a funk. You're in a business that goes like this. Okay, we do not do this, we do this. So in these moments, you feel great. In these moments, you don't. Let's get back up here and figure out how to get back up there. Not sit down here and say, oh, I'm just in a funk, I'm in a valley. How do we get back to the high? Next thing. So let's talk about follow-ups. Okay. So now we're talking about all these no's, all the things that aren't working. You're in these conversations, like drop a 1 in the chat. If you're having conversations right now, okay, you're talking to people, you're doing host to post, you're messaging people, whatever it is that you're doing that works for you, whether that's TikToks, Reels, whatever the heck. How many of those people leave you unread? Okay, you can't give me a number because it's a lot. It's a freaking lot. Okay, and some of you are like, yeah. Okay, let's talk about this. Okay, do you know that the most successful people in this business get left on red about 5 times more than you do every day? But you know what that means to me? I love being left on red. Yes, I would love for them to respond, but you know what that means? I've talked to so many people, and I get messages every single day, and I know that she does too, and she's enrolling 17 customers on her story, and I've got all these distributor enrollments on my stories. The amount of people that message me and say, how are you doing this? Do you want to know how many people I have to talk to get those customers and distributors? You would be baffled if you saw my messages. I had to hire somebody to go through them because I physically couldn't keep up, okay? And I know that some of y'all are like, well, I just started this. I know that, and I want you to hear my heart of knowing that it does take time to figure out those, things and conversations and wording and X, Y, and Z, but it's the matter of how many people are you talking to. And the more people that you talk to, you have to understand that this is an average of 8 to 12 times of how many times you're gonna follow up with somebody. Write that down. An average of 8 to 12 times that you're going to follow up with someone before they say yes. That's not a networks thing. That's not a network marketing thing. That's a sales thing. Drop a 2 if you've ever received a follow-up email from Bath & Body Works, Target, JCPenney, Dillard's, Victoria's Secret, and you get them all day long. But then that email comes up and they're like, semi-annual sale, buy 2 bras, get 1 for free, 40% off clearance. And you say, shoo, okay. And you click the link. If they wouldn't have sent you that email, you wouldn't have done it. And that's what we do. I talk to so many people about this business, so many stinking people, but I know that maybe right now they don't have $39 and they don't want to tell me. Or maybe they feel too busy, or they're stressed with finals going on, or maybe with COVID, they're working extra shifts and they don't even think about picking up this business. Whatever it may be, it's my job to show them whatever that issue is that's holding them back. I'm going to have to consistently follow up with them. And so never expect that first conversation to be, I never message someone and say, oh, they're going to enroll. Not saying I speak death over that, but I don't expect them to, because I know that I'm going to probably have to follow up with them, and that's okay, because I'm going to be consistently planting the seeds. And I always give this analogy, and I'm going to make it quick. You're a farmer, okay? You're going to be planting seeds, planting seeds, planting seeds, planting seeds over and over and over. That's all you're going to be doing, is planting the seed, whether that's a message, a TikTok, a reel. How many of you joined because you saw your upline posting on reels or TikTok, okay, in videos? You see them. They didn't just see one of them. Every time I get on a coaching call with one of my newbies, they're like, I kept seeing your reels. I kept seeing your TikToks. I kept seeing your posts, right? And many of you are here because you kept seeing someone sharing the business. And so when it comes to that, that is me planting seeds over and over. And then what's going to happen? Someone's going to fertilize it, right? We're fertilizing it by posting, sharing these Zooms on our stories, going live, talking about traveling, talking about this, when a bone, like all these things are fertilizer. They're like, okay, I know about this business, but now I see all this stuff and this looks really fun. I'm really excited, right? Then we harvest. But we don't harvest all at the same time, right? Y'all just saw in the chat of how many people are joining at different times. You're going to plant, you're going to fertilize, and you're going to harvest over and over and over and over. And over the course of your business, you're going to get 2 customers today, a distributor next week, 4 customers on Tuesday of next week. It is never going to be every day you're guaranteed to enroll. But I can promise you that if you're following up with the people that you are talking to, you will enroll. But stop expecting to do it every single day and expecting to not be left on red. You should be working so hard and talking to so many people, especially in boom season, about this business. You don't know who's leaving you on red. I don't go look, it hurts my feelings. Okay, I'm like, that is so rude. You just left me on red and you ignored me. And I see that you read my text message. That's so disrespectful. I don't look because I don't care. I'm going to go find more people.
Yeah, and so, sorry, I was trying to prevent my leg from going to sleep again. So,
because you need a door.
Yeah. One thing that I always tell my team is like, they're like, oh, well, people left me on red, or, oh, this person left me on red. I'm like, how do you know that though? Like, how do you know that? Because if you're working hard, then you don't know those people left you on red. You're not going back and taking time that you could be sending new messages to go see if they responded or if they saw your message. The only time I ever know if people left me on red is during a follow-up. And I just happened to see that. But guess what? I still don't care, because I know that I'm taking control of that conversation back when I follow up. So all my greens and reds, y'all know y'all love control. You get it back when you follow up, because you can control what you do, not what they do. The other thing that I want to talk about on that is assume the best. Assume the best. Because I had people, and I have people all the time, and you've probably done this or heard this from your team, is whenever people say, oh, well, I just messaged somebody, but they weren't interested. I'm like, okay, well, what did they say? Because maybe we can get them to do a host a post or something. They're like, oh, well, they just didn't respond. I'm like, so you automatically assume that that means that they're not interested? Put a 1 if you're always like, oh, they didn't respond back to me. They're not interested anymore. Put a 1. If you can be honest and say that, it's okay, because I've had those moments where I thought that too.
And you're someone like Morgan that's like, oh, they hate me. They just want to run me over with their car. They're so annoyed by me. You all probably felt that. They feel annoyed by you. And that's just not the case.
Yeah, and I need everybody to like me. So I'm like, oh no, let's fix this. Let's fix it. So I follow up with people and I see that they didn't respond back to me, or I have them written down on my list of people to follow up with, or to put their order in or whatever on that day. And it's a Friday and they said, oh, I'm going to order on this date. And I follow up with them and then they don't respond back. Number 1, I don't ever say, oh, well, they're just ghosting me. Because I don't think that they're ghosting me, because I assume the best. I think, oh, well, I know that they're a mom, or I know that they're a college student, or I think about these people. And how many times have you opened up a message and you forgot to respond back to somebody?
Every day.
Yeah, we're human. How many times, moms, have you started to respond back to somebody and then your kids started screaming and you had to run and go grab them in a different room? How many times, moms, have you started walking out to your car and you were responding back to a message and then, you know, you had to put your kids in the car or they started screaming or whatever and you had to hand them stuff? Like, college kids, how many times you walked into the gym, saw somebody that you knew and you started talking to them and you were in the middle of doing your text, and then by the time you finished that conversation, you forgot. Then you went down to the locker room and then you started your workout and you got home, you had to do work. You know what I'm saying? Dude, people forget to respond. So if you're gonna assume anything, assume the best. Assume that they just forgot. Assume that they just forgot. They opened your message or they didn't, and they just didn't see it. I can't tell you how many people have messaged me and said, hey, did you get my message? And I was like, I literally didn't. I'm so sorry.
Drop a 4 if you're here because you joined from someone following up with you.
So guys, here's the deal. These people would not have joined if someone didn't follow up with them. So we know that following up is important, but I need y'all to understand the mindset too behind why following up is important, because you can't just think, oh, well, they're ghosting me or whatever. It's going to make follow-ups not fun for you. Whenever I look at a follow-up, I'm like, oh, they didn't respond back to me. They probably forgot. They're going to be so thankful that I followed up with them, because why wouldn't they want this opportunity? Why wouldn't they want these products? And whether they do or whether they don't respond from that follow-up, I know I'm doing everything I can to be successful at my own business.
Exactly. And so the next thing that we're going to talk about, I feel like, is something that, which all of these are super important, but not everyone on your team is going to work. And I know some of you were like, oh my gosh, we're talking about this again. I already know this. Some of you don't, and you don't understand. And I want to talk to you heart to heart and tell you that I have been in your shoes so many times where I felt so defeated because I couldn't get a distributor on my team to work. And I'm going to tell you that not everybody sees this business the same way that you do. And I know that when I first joined, I didn't see this business the way I do now. And it was because I needed time and I needed to see the way that this business would work. And I needed to, watch other people. And some of you, how many of you on here took you a little bit to figure it out? Or maybe you didn't do anything for like 6 months and then you're like, hey, I actually want to work this business. I have 2 triple diamonds on my team that pieced out and then came back like 3 to 6 months later and were like, hey, yo, I actually do want to work this business now. Like, not everyone is going to work at the same pace as you, okay? And I need to get a deck of cards and carry it in my pocket for this analogy, but I told this to my team the other day because it's so significant. So I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, there's 52 cards in a deck of cards, but there's 4 aces. So when you pull out this deck of cards, I want you to imagine flipping over every card and that being the level of your distributor's work ethic, okay? So you flip over that card and you get a 2. That's somebody who's going to join and then say, I actually don't want to do this anymore. And they peace out. Then you flip it and you get a 4. That's somebody who maybe gets into their e-suite, gets into the team page, shows up to a Zoom, and then they're gone and they ghost you and join the witness protection program and they're nowhere to be found. Then you're going to flip it over and you're going to get a jack. They don't know jack crap and they're not interested in this business at all. Then you flip it over and you get an 8. And that's somebody who's so excited. They're enrolling. Maybe they get a couple customers. They got a distributor. Then bam, you flip it over and you get an ace. That ace is you. That ace is a Hannah, it's a Caitlin, it's a Morgan, it's a Latoya, it's a Eden, it's a Naomi. It's the next you that you pray for. I don't know about y'all, but I know that my team was prayed for. I know that every day I was like, Lord, bring me distributors that need this, not distributors that just want to join and just do nothing. I want people that are abundant, that want change in their life, that understand that they can work their hearts out and do this business and make an income. People that will show up to my Zooms because I show up to them. I can't tell you how many years I've been doing Zooms every single Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. I mean, I do them and I just wanted people to show up for me because the way that I was showing up for them. And I know I always show up for my team and I wanted that so badly. You will not enroll a ton of people every single day that are all going to work. I can't even tell you how many people I've enrolled that just peace out and don't work. But you know what? I don't pay attention to those people. And it's not because I don't care about them and because I don't love them. I'm not going to spend time pouring into somebody who doesn't want my coaching. I'm going to pour into those of you that decided to show up on this Zoom. And that's what it shows to me. You're showing up for me because you know I'm going to show up for you. And you're showing up for your business. And I will always show up for those people 10 times more than I will sit there and beg someone to work. Mm-hmm. And those of you on here that are sitting here blowing up your team, texting them every single day, you could scroll. It's that many times that you've texted them trying to get them to work. If you spent half as much time out there trying to find people that want to work this business as you are pouring into that person that will not respond to you, you would be diamond by now. you would be Ruby by now, because you would be out there pouring your time into TikTok, into Reels, into Host to Post, into super excited posts trying to find people that want to work, than begging Becky Sue to text you back. Because if you have to beg somebody to work and you have to beg somebody to join, you're going to have to beg them every single second of every single day to do the things that you're asking them to do. Not everybody, when you go to the optometrist, it's an eye doctor, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know. When you go to an optometrist, right? If all of us went, we would all have different vision. We would all be wearing different glasses. If I put on Morgan's glasses, or I put on Taya's glasses, because she's actually wearing them, I couldn't see, because I don't look out the same thing and see the same way. And so all the distributors that join, I'm not expecting them to be on my level. They don't know the things that I know. They're not going through the same life things. I've got moms, I've got college students, I have people from all walks of life, and I don't expect them to work the way that I do. I will meet them where they're at. If they want to show up, they can show up, but I will never slow down for someone else. And I want to shout out one of my rubies on here. Her name's Ashley. She's a mass enroller, and she carries her team, and she knows it. And right now, it took her so long to figure that out. I'm like, Ashley, girl, keep working. You're going to get there. She promoted to Ruby alone. And she may go Emerald alone, and that's okay, but you know what that's going to mean is that she is carrying her weight, and she will find the people, the other Ashleys of the world. And that's something I've always taken from Jade Hooper. I'm going to lose my voice by the end of the night because I've been preaching so much, but I'm just so excited because when I first joined, I heard Jade say that all the time. I want to find the Jades of the world. You should walk around saying, I'm going to find the Zoes of the world. I'm going to find the Morgans of the world. I'm going to find the Kennas of the world, the people that are my dream team, my girls. Like, my team is a bunch of me. Morgan's team is a bunch of her, of people that she relates to, that she loves, because I prayed for these people. Stop begging people to work. Stop begging people to show up for you, and start showing up for yourself, because the moment that you start working this business for you and doing you, when you promote and I announce you for that promotion, whose name am I putting on that graphic? You, sister, not Becky Sue who ain't working. You. So go find those people that want to do this business with you.
Yeah. So good. So good, guys, because you join now and you look at us. Oh my gosh. Get a little choked up. But you see us now and the team that we have, and you think that this is where we started. Right? We didn't start here, but you missed 2016 Morgan, who was praying literally in the floor of her apartment that she paid $300 a month for with a roommate, and said, I need people on my team who want this. And I prayed for friends. I prayed for friends when I was working 2 jobs, 65 hours a week, and didn't have time to meet new people in the city that I had just moved to. And God answered that prayer in the craziest ways, looking at her and all of y'all. I didn't know that that's how God was going to answer this prayer, but it's so much more than just a business, guys. Start praying for the people that are coming into your team. Start writing it down. If you're not somebody who prays, write it down. Write it in your journal and start just saying it, speaking those affirmations, manifest that. Talk about how you are signing certain types of people, and then become that person that you want to attract into your business. The last thing I want to say kind of talks about that with not having people on your team who are working. If you're enrolling your steps to success every month, you will have people on your team who are working. And if you're not familiar with the steps to success, maybe you're new, maybe you just have never heard that before. What a steps to success is running your auto shipment to get the products to be a product of the product. And then also number 2, it's enrolling 6 customers and 3 distributors each month. It's not a minimum. It's not a quota. It's just a goal to help you get where you want to go in this business and give you a system to get there. Okay. So whenever you have this goal, this system, this plan, and you have a goal to shoot for, and you go do that and then teach your team to do that, you're going to get to the top rank in the company. That's how that works. We've made it that simple for you. If you're enrolling your steps to success, remember that part of that is your 3 distributors. Imagine, okay, for those of you who are sitting here and you're like, I don't have a soul on my team who does anything. When is the last time you completed your steps to success? And then if you're like, well, I did it last month. When is the last time you completed your steps to success for 6 months in a row? Because here's what I know, is that 6 times 3 is 18. We're struggling with math tonight. Yeah, we're struggling with math tonight. But here's the deal. If you have 6 months of completing your steps to success, you have at least 18 distributors. if you had 18 distributors, do you think that your situation would be the same as how it is right now with your 2 distributors? There's power in numbers.
Mm-hmm.
The first 18 people that I signed up didn't all stick around forever, but they fell off at different times. So there was never really a time in my business up until, after I signed a distributor, that there was no one working. There was always at least someone working with me. Whether they're still here or whether they're not, doesn't matter. But they were working with me at some point. And so I want you to figure out how you're going to start getting these distributors. And this is not a getting distributors training. If you don't know how to sign distributors, get in the team pages, whatever team page that you're on, search distributors, search DTs. That's what we say short for distributors. Search that, search keywords. There's trainings, there's YouTube videos, there's tips, there's encouragement, there's contests going on. There's so many different things that you can do to sign distributors that if you don't know how to do it, be creative. Get excited about your business. People want to follow somebody that knows where they're going. And if you're excited right now in 2021 about anything in life, you're going to stand out. So just get excited. Be passionate about something. And they're going to stick out. They're going to want to be with you because of who you are as a person and because of the growth that you've had, because you don't expect these results right away. Because you don't say the things like stuck and discouraged, and you don't speak that you're in a funk. You're talking life over your business. You're speaking that life from your mouth, not the death. And because you're sitting here and you realize that, you have to follow up. And you follow up with them, and that's why they're signing up on your team. Do you see how everything we're talking about flows into each other?
The circle of Rap Girl life is what I've always called it. You can't have all the others without one. And something I wanted to say and end this with too is, guys, think about the power of one. Morgan is one person. I am one person, and look at what we have done. We didn't do it alone, but I gave that next person the chance. I said yes, so that someone else could say yes, so that another person could say yes. And it's turned into what it has because I followed up. I did not expect overnight success. I never quit. I never even gave myself the option. All these things that we shared with you, we could literally sit on Zoom for probably 17 hours and share all the things that we've learned, but it's because we just started and just learned all throughout the process. And just think about, you're that one person. And all you have to do is show up for your business every single day in some way, and know that you're showing up for your future team, for your future life, for that future family that you're going to have, for that life that you want to live. It doesn't happen overnight, but I can tell you that it's freaking worth it. It is worth it to know that you've built this legacy. It's worth it to know you built a foundation of a business that's changed your life. And was it easy all the time? No. Have we struggled a lot? Yeah. Have we compared our businesses? Had people cancel? Had people block us? Been talked about? All the things. But I knew what I wanted, and I was not willing to give up on anything, because at the end of the day, only you've got you. And if you can show up and do all these things, you're not just doing it for you, you're doing it for thousands and thousands of other women that are going to be on your team one day. And so I hope that you took perspective from this Zoom and you learned something from it, and that you turn around and share it with your team, and that maybe something you were struggling with, you got on and learned. I can tell you that the only reason I am where I am is because I showed up to these Zooms. They always filled my cup no matter what. Even new distributor trainings fill my cup. They're my favorite. They happen every Thursday, and I get so excited before it. I start sweating because I'm like, look at all these people that just have no idea. And every Zoom I get on, I'm like, somebody on here heard something tonight that's going to take them to ambassador. Not tooting our own horn, but I'm saying that every single Zoom I take something away that I share that changes someone else's business. And you learn something tonight that you're like, wow, that was it for me. And I hope that you did. And I pray that for you, that you found something that you were like, that was my disconnect. But guys, just stay faithful and know that you're highly favored, and that the things that you're doing now, you may not see it now, but this dream life that you're going to live is coming. And I think back to little 18-year-old Shay when she joined this business for gas money, and look at the life I get to live now, and the friends that I've made and the team that I've built. Was it easy? No. But was it worth it? 100%. I love it. Do you want to pray and close us? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try to stand up. I got a bum leg. To hold you. Fall through the door. We'll keep y'all posted after this. Okay, God, we love you, and we thank you so much just for this opportunity that we've had to just be able to come together, and from all walks of life, from all different states, from all different
backgrounds and families, and that we just get to come together and just learn more about you and learn more about this business and this opportunity. And I pray right now that you would just be with every single person who is on here, that you would just breathe life over them, that you would help them to correct their mindsets, that you would help them to just think things that you would think thoughts about you and not thoughts about death. And I pray that you would bless the work that we put our hands to. God, I claim over every single one of these people that they are blessed coming in and going out, that they are highly favored and that they are loved, that they are the head and not the tail, and that you're going to bless the work that we put our hands to. And I know that you're going to pour out the floodgates of heaven, and that you're going to do exceedingly and abundantly more than all we could ask or imagine. And God, we claim every single one of those things in your name. And we ask that you would just move forward in our businesses, that you would bless our businesses, that you would allow us to use this for your glory. And I pray that for every single person on here who feels discouraged, who feels stuck or in a funk, that they would remove those things from their vocabulary, and that you would begin to breathe that life into them, and that you would begin to show them yourself in a new and a fresh way, and that you would give them hope that can only come from you, that you would give them a desire and a hunger to be better and to live a better life, and remind them that you can do immeasurably more than they could ask or imagine, that you can do all the things, and that they can do everything through you who strengthens them. And God, we just ask for peace, that you would just cover us in your peace tonight as we go to bed. Whatever we're struggling with, whatever things we're facing in our life right now, we know that you have them handled. And so I pray that we would just give those things over to you. And I pray that you would just continue to calm our spirit, calm our hearts, and calm our minds. And we thank you for just this business and this opportunity that we have, and the way that we get to come together through technology to meet together tonight. And I pray that we would walk away different. And we ask all of this in your name. Amen.
Amen, y'all. We are so proud of y'all for getting on here and for just pouring into yourself for the last even few hours, for those of you that have been on our leader Zooms and all that. But we're so excited, and we can't wait to see those of you that take all this stuff and put it into action. Bye, guys. Good night. We love y'all.
Bye.